Hopefully you can. Yeah. Solo, yeah, it's just me. What about that?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Solo, yeah. About that.
Oh, yeah, I'm hearing you. Oh, I heard me. I heard me. Oh, I'm hearing you. Oh, I heard me. I heard me. Phil, say a thing.
I heard you as well. I heard you as well. I heard you as well.
I heard me. I heard me. Phil, say a thing.
I heard you as well.
Oh, good. Okay, we're hearing all
I heard
three.
you as
Good
well.
stuff. Mute. Hold on.
Can you hear me now
We're
as
here.
well?
Yeah,
Is that all right?
yeah.
Stuff. Mute.
It's not echoing?
No, it's fine.
Hold on.
Can you hear me now
We're
as
here.
well?
Yeah,
Is that all right?
yeah.
Mute. Seems to be. Did it?
I'll just give you the signal then when the music's all done.
Don't worry about the music. Just start.
Let's do it live.
Do it live.
Who's hosting anyway?
You are.
I'm hosting as well.
You're doing the intro and the outro, and we'll tag team all the rest.
We'll fill in the rest.
Or do you want me to do it? I don't care. Don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be easier if I'm doing all of this pants. That's what I was going to give you the signal that the music was put in.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Episode number is
722.
Is it really? Okay. All right. Hello.
Do you know what you said?
Good morning. Good welcome. Hello. Start again. Hi, it's Robin here. This is the Overseas Connection podcast. This is episode 722 on February the 19th, 2023. And we are live. And Pete is hosting the call tonight. So it's a very different show, very different look to us all. But we're there and we're live. I will explain why it's a bit different in a minute, and how this all came together at the last minute. If you're in the chat, there is a chat live, so chat away there. We do this every single week at 9 o'clock UK time and other times throughout the world, but work it out from there. This is a podcast about video games. We are mature gamers, older fellas and girls. We love to game. And it's a very, very social place. So I hope you enjoy what we do. We go out live every week on twitch.tv OC podcast, on youtube.com/OC podcast. And of course, there is the audio only version, which is available for your delights. Okay, tonight I have the wonderful, very, very ginger Pete Chin tonight. Hello, Pete.
Thanks, Robin. Hello.
And we have a voice from the past, which isn't that long ago, but the voice that we love to have back is Phil Olsen. Hiya, Phil.
Good evening, Robin. Good evening, Peter. How are you today?
I am absolutely destroyed, and we'll get to that in a minute or two. But I'm here. I didn't expect to be here, but I'm here. But it's class to be here. I don't mind this at all. This is not hard work. This is pleasure and fun. We do have a few little birthdays just to go through. Our Tony, he was 10 going on 30 on the February the 19th. We missed Chris Williams, Chris MJW. Happy birthday for the 17th, big lad. 44. You're no longer a whippersnapper. Pete Marshall, his birthday's on the 22nd. He's young and fresh and, fantastic. And the old Seth McNitt, which has a fantastic head of hair knot. He's 44 also on the 25th of February. So happy birthday, guys. And I hope you're having a great time, the ones that have had and the ones that don't. or didn't. Okay, a quick explanation to why we are and why we look the way we are tonight. Literally about an hour ago, I had the night off. I was going to kick my feet up and have a wee bit of a relaxy taxi. And the show was our Greg and Phil and Pete. And Greg had a bit of a family emergency and he just had to drop everything. So I decided that, well, I'll give help out and come along and chat with the guys. So that's where we are. And Pete has some new toys, which he can explain in a second. And he wanted to get them out of the cupboard and host. And this is the good way to break him in. So next time around, there'll be fancy backgrounds and things whizzing all over the place and sound effects, which aren't edited in afterwards. And it'll all be brilliant. Pete, I'm looking at your picture there, mate, and we've got Alan's hummingbird perched on a red kangaroo paw plant.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah. I couldn't, in my preview, my test call, I couldn't work out what it was, but yeah.
I gotta say, it does bring out the ginger in your ginger.
Yeah, man. I'm down with nature.
It looks
today.
like you've got antlers.
Antennae. Yeah, the two antennae coming up.
I'm horny.
Well,
lower the tone.
Phil, it's lovely to see you, buddy. It's been quite a while. How are things with you?
Hectic, busy. Lots of things have happened. So I've had issues with my heart. I'm getting older. I hit 50 last week.
Yeah,
Can't believe it.
That was a long time ago, for me. Long time.
Yeah, I know, but everything. I think for the first time in my 50 years, a birthday's actually had an effect on me, sort of psychologically, just briefly. But usually it's just a number. And I reached 50 and thought, oh God, not midlife crisis, but I started to question, what have I done? But, where am I? So lots of changes ahead.
Okay.
So one of those being that I'm job hunting. So I've been contracting, for those who don't know, I've been contracting now for 20 odd years, and I've got 25 years experience in program and project management. My career has just stayed still, because when you're contracting, you're working for yourself, you don't get any career progression. So it's about time that I felt, number one, I want career progression. I want, after 25 years, I should be director level, to be honest, with the experience I've got. I want things like paid holidays. I want paid sickness, or even sickness cover, So I'm looking for the right job. There's a couple on the horizon, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm 54 now.
No.
It's not midlife crisis anymore, because there's no fucking way I'm getting to 100. And it is funny when like when my brother's like almost 10 years older than me, and my sister's older, and when my brother's talking about his bus pass and bits and pieces like that, it's kind of terrible. How can I have a brother so old? And then when I'm now the old fella. I suppose birthdays that affected me. Weirdly, my 35th birthday affected me, because that was a strange one. Because
is that the one you spent in prison?
No, I don't think so. That was maybe my 30th. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Long story, that one. Because you were closer to 40 than 30, and you leave that behind, and no offense, girls stop looking at you after 35, and it's and relationships come with baggage after that age and all that sort of stuff. So it's not worth the fight any longer. So at 50, you're really hey mister, but I'm okay with it. I think that the most important thing to do is to hold on to your youth. Is that I mean, no, that's wrong. A little bit crazy is important to hold on to. Thing. I mean, I think about my dad at 50 odd, and my dad was a tired old man who read the paper and didn't really interact. Loved his motorbike racing, loved his caravan, and that was it. Where I don't have enough minutes in the day. The majority of the time, with all the bits and pieces that I've got myself involved in, it's kind of between work and the new challenge that I took on just over a year ago, which is nutty, and then with
17
fostering
kids.
and podcasting and now racing, the sim racing stuff, and trying to build something there as well. So I think it's just we never. Oh, sorry, hiya, Boomer. You never get those minutes back now. So the old carpe diem thing is vitally important.
Yeah.
And my downtime is small, so I try to make the most of the time, and I think that's what you have to do. And I get you, what you work wise. I mean, when we first started to chat years and years ago, you were doing crazy commuting. I remember, like 6 hours every day or something like that. It was nutty, or maybe even longer.
Yeah, 9.5 hours.
So get out there and do it. Go and get it.
Exactly, and that's my. I think it's been a turning point from a positive point of view. It's about, I need to take my health seriously. So I went for a heart scan this morning.
How'd it go?
Fine, I think it's beating.
Did they put you on the treadmill? Did they?
No. This was just an echocardiogram. So
Okay.
with the gel, I'm not pregnant, but
if you want to be pregnant, you can be pregnant.
Exactly, I can be
you want
whatever
to have a
I
period
want.
every month. You can have a period every month. Absolutely, I hear
I
that's
don't
the
want
thing
one.
now.
I don't want one. Thank you very much.
Don't you want to perspire and be in a mood?
Well, I'll do that anyway.
Well,
that's
good.
so
That's good. But you're here, and we're going to hear about gaming and stuff and soon, and well, that's great. I mean, and you were doing some vegan podcast as well, that no plants or animals were damaged when making it and stuff like that. Is that
that's right.
Really,
Yeah, that's
Phil?
true. No, we so I've had the obviously this show and previous shows in the past, and the D&D show, which is coming back. I've been editing it some today, but also with Lisa, we started doing a show called Together Vegans. So there's only a couple of episodes out so far, getting some really good feedback, and we're just doing some website work for someone at the moment. Once we've completed that, then we'll be focusing back on those and getting those up and running. It's all about dispelling myths. We're not preaching to anyone. There's a lot of myths about it. It's also to help people who are vegan and gluten free. So Lisa's allergic to wheat, so she can't have wheat in anything, and it's really difficult. And it is a choice, the vegan side is a choice, not the allergy to wheat. So yeah, we just talk about our experiences and recommendations for places, and hopefully we'll get some traction and start getting some companies to take note, because they're pretty bad out there at the moment.
Sponsored by Burger King.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was in IKEA yesterday, and all of the meatballs now are vegetable meatballs. There are no meatballs anymore. They're now plant-based meatballs.
Yeah, because they used to do just a veg made out of vegetables, and now they've done a sort of meat alternative.
So I think it's just what they serve now.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Nobody knows, because they never tasted fantastic anyway.
Well, once you've got the sauce on and everything else,
a gravy and a sauce,
exactly.
Peas, you're fantastic.
It's a choice. It probably works out cheaper for them or something.
Pete, you hello Lord, how you doing, lad? Different show tonight. Just three guys having a chat. Pete, you had mentioned that you were going to see a houseboat. Was that correct?
Yeah, actually did. Yeah, I went to see one. Was it last Saturday? Yeah, we went to see a narrowboat in Derby. So we took about an hour and 15 minutes to get there.
Oh, you should have said hello.
I didn't realise you lived out that way. You're giving your address away. Where else, Phil? What area?
Not telling you.
Come on. So yeah, I went over to Derby, have a look at a narrowboat, and that visit was a learning curve for us. Really, we've finally decided that
don't want any more
boats at that range, that price range. ain't gonna work for us.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go higher.
How much is the narrowboat?
They're ranged. They can brand new. You can get them for about 139 to 159,000.
All fitted out.
Yeah, that's all fitted out. That's all singing and dancing.
That, Pete? What length?
They're 60, 65, 70 feet. You can get them around that price. It depends how much kit you've got.
What sort of money was the one you were looking at?
49.
Okay,
so
yeah,
we've got to up it. We've got to look towards more 70, 80.
Yeah, and do some of the work yourself as well. Yeah.
So I mean, well, you could buy a boat for 70,000, 80,000 pounds, and you ain't got to do a thing to it at all. Oh, okay. The stuff for around 45, 50, they're the ones that you've got to put some work in. They advertise them so well. The pictures are so cool on the websites, and then when you turn up there, it's just not the boat that you've seen on the internet. But while we was at the marina, there were quite a few boats in and around that price range, and just looking around those, they weren't particularly the type of boat that we want. We're after a cruiser stern boat, which is reverse layout. So you actually from the back, from the stern, you go into the kitchen, through the galley area into the bathroom, and hopefully have a bedroom at the bow. Yeah, we just couldn't find one with that layout, and all of the boats that we've seen at that price range, that just wasn't good at all. So I mean, with the money that we're saving, we should be fine, and the money that we've got, we should be okay. But yeah, it's looking more now towards 70, 80 grand. I reckon that we need to spend that.
Do it right. Do it once. Do it right.
Yeah. We had to look at a few years ago at moving onto a boat. So spent quite a lot of time. Yeah, but the problem was, what we quickly learned was, unless we got, so from a narrowboat point of view, they're not really tall enough for me. So I walk around like this all the time.
How tall are you, Phil?
6'2". So,
yeah, I'm 6'2". The boats, that's one of the other things that we're looking at as well, the height of the boat. A lot of them now, the more modern ones, they cater for us tall guys.
Right, okay.
So they've got 6'4". Some have got 6'7" headroom, so it's okay. It's normally the width for me, because I've put on some timber, which I'm going to need to lose this year. It's a bit of a struggle to get through some of the doorways.
It must be an English thing, because of all the canals that are around there that you come across quite a bit. Because I know a few people that have lived at a Bangor County down in the marina on their boat and stuff like that there, but I've never heard of anybody wanting, like two people in one podcast wanting and had considered it. I guess it's
a family thing for me as well. So my great grandfather was master of the Grand Union Canal. So so he's in charge. I mean, we're talking 100 years ago, but he was quite big in that way. But the rest of the family aren't interested. It's just something that we looked at as options.
Yeah, no, my dad's certainly not in any position within the hierarchy of the canal system. He swam in one when he was a kid. That's about as close.
I nearly fell into the Birmingham Canal on a few occasions. So that's another story. And then hopefully it will happen again at some stage. Okay. Anything else, Pete? What have you been up to?
Oh, I've had a bad, because I've mentioned before, I got ulcerative colitis. I've had a flare up yesterday. I've had a lousy week, man. Work's been crap. My uncle, who I'm trying to sort out care for, he's out of hospital now, and I'm dealing with a load of things with him, and it's just all crap stuff really that I've been dealing with mostly. We watched Happy Valley, which is that program that Mark recommended a few weeks ago. That's a fantastic TV series. We binge watched all 3 seasons. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, it's superb. Absolutely superb. Really enjoyed it.
So it's definitely worth the watch. So thanks, Mark, for that. And it was the mother-in-law's birthday as well today, and we've had her this weekend over. She loves it where we are. She's been on lots of walks, and we took her to a garden centre, and she's been to the botanical gardens in Birmingham, and so has been on plenty of walks, and she's well fed. And we've packed her bags and took her back home today, so she's probably tucked up in bed knackered now. But yeah, it's a nice end to the week, and it's nice to just be on here with you guys as well. So yeah, it's just been one of those weeks.
Well, we've had a nutty week. Work was very, very busy again this week. And I took Friday off because we had a TV crew here yesterday shooting an advert for fostering for the Fostering Network.
Oh wow!
And there was we wanted to take Friday to do a tidy up. You know, garden centre, another plant at the front door, that sort of thing. £200 for 2 trees and pot. It's crazy. One to the left, one to the right. Anyway, Judith insisted she had the little minions out because they were off for school all week, and they were cleaning the driveway and tidying stuff up, and a quick
nice
in here because this was a location. And yesterday morning, then they arrived. Yeah, minibus and 3 carloads. Guys flew over from England. The whole production team, about 10 people in the production team, plus people from the Fostering Network here in Northern Ireland and Kindercare, our guys. And the work was, it was all day. So I then took the kids, my foster kids away, because the kids that are in this advert are actors. Because they can't have real foster kids on the thing. And I believe it's a 30-second advert on Sky, but then lots of the other footage and the longer form stuff will all be used for many a time or a long time on social media. So I took my crew then down to this indoor Indiana Jones golf place. Yeah. Like the indoor crazy golf, which is great. We've been there before. A 4.5-year-old, not really into it. You know, the scary alligator noises and the big stuffed alligator moving around and the snakes and the Indiana Jones sounds kind of freaked out a bit. Well, that was all fine. And then we went to IKEA because Judith we've got some new foster kids coming in tomorrow. 2 girls, a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old. They're coming in for a couple of weeks. Their mother's gravely ill, and yeah. So they're coming to us for a couple of weeks. So I had to get a couple of bedside tables in IKEA, but perfect place then, because I was in the crazy golf place about 10:15 yesterday morning. So then IKEA about 12. We had the famous meatballs with the sauce. We went round. We picked up a couple of little tables. I got another nice little groovy table for the rig, and a cup holder for the rig. Brilliant. Get those installed, and then I took them to the Ulster Museum, which I love. I'm a great fan. It's in the Botanical Gardens in Belfast. It's a fantastic museum. It's an all natural history and everything in between, from the dinosaurs, and there's an Egyptian mummy, which I had nightmares about as a kid going there on the school trip. And it's but that's a really good. It's like a smaller version of the Natural History Museum, I suppose, in London. And then I took them for ice cream, and at a yogurt place, and then we got home about 4:30, and everybody was exhausted, absolutely wrecked, because the girls, I've seen some of the footage and the photographs of the day, and that team had them in our house, around our house, in a forest beside us. I mean, they shot all day. They were in here shooting in here as well. I think the shots of Judith, it's funny, the things that they couldn't shoot, they could shoot them playing, my wife playing a game with a controller in hand. Yeah, right. Her and her sister sitting playing with the kids, but holding controllers, but they couldn't show the screen for show the game. Seemingly, there's a photograph I have, and you probably have seen it. It's all the superheroes and the Hulk and Spider-Man are all standing up against the wall having a pee, and somebody spotted that. We'll have to take that down off the wall. That's somebody. So it's been an interesting experience. And then, of course, after all of that, Judith and I went out on a date night last night.
Oh, lovely.
Even though we were completely destroyed, and we went out to a beautiful restaurant very, very close to here, and we had Chateaubriand between us, this beautiful steak. It's a 72 pounds sterling steak between two people, and the Chateaubriand. You've had it, Pete? Yeah, it's a steak that's cooked and wrapped in a inferior meat, and then the inferior meat is chucked away, and it was beautiful and tender and gorgeous. And then there was some friends of mine. They
Nice.
appeared for a few drinks, and we joined them afterwards, and it was just a lovely night. We were just absolutely destroyed. And then today, that's why I was sort of taking a wee back seat because of another busy week ahead. But you know what? It's been good. It's been good. It's been a good couple of days.
So just on ice cream.
Yeah.
Working in the industry as you do,
Mm-hmm.
do you have standards of the quality of ice cream that you let the kids have?
Absolutely.
I thought you would, yeah.
So you go to your ice cream van on the beach, and the best thing that I can say about that stuff is that it's cold. It's got very, very little to do with anything with ice cream. It's usually the mix that they use in their whipped ice cream machine is usually short date.
Yeah.
So those guys come to us and say, "Do you have any short date mix at the end of the season or stuff that's because it's a best before rather than a use by date on it." So at the end of the season they'll come and buy pallets of what we have left over. So that's what we buy in the next year, or they'll buy the cheapest possible stuff. There's very, very few of those ice cream vans have good ice cream. It's pure, utter white. You could blow through it. There's that much air being pumped into it. So yeah, so for whipped ice cream, it's funny, like me with wine and everything. So when we do it, so we have a brand called Angelito. It's our brand, and we distribute it throughout the UK. You have it in England as well. It's one of the biggest selling whipped ice cream brands out there, Angelito. But when we're doing a tasting with some new machines, there'll be guys in our workshop and showroom, and they'll be holding it up and looking to see how wet it is and how to taste it. You know, even
Oh my God.
yeah, I mean it's wine to them. Like maybe when I go to some of my customers that are big pizza restaurant guys, and they're testing a new oven, they'll be lifting it and feeling it, looking for the crosses underneath it if they're just right. It does, you know. So everybody has their passion that way. Now it's not just ice cream equipment. We do a lot of cooking equipment as well, but again, it's more for specialized retail places and QSR, quick service restaurant stuff. But yeah, ice cream is a very, very big part of our business. In fact, I mean, this week, one of I look after only two clients in the country, and one of them is a very big thing called Mood. It's Mooda, MOO''D. Mooda, it's a whole theme. It started about 5 years. We helped them build it, and we do about 40 of those a year throughout Ireland. And there's hundreds and hundreds of them out now, and so they have refined it this time. And there was a show at Killarney way in Cork for Centra, which was Budgeons, if you remember Budgeons stores. It's a big company. And then there's the Super Value, which is like a medium-sized supermarket. Their conference is this day next week. I'll be traveling down there. It's Monday week. So we have a big ice cream set up there and some other equipment, bits and pieces. So, yeah, you know what? It's a nice industry to be in. So there's that, and with whipped ice cream and the basic stuff. And then there's the really handmade gelato, really fresh, you know, made on the day. Very, very few places in the UK. Some very good places up in the north of England, actually, very, very into gelato. But in the UK, if you go to Italy and a busy, really, really good site, the ice cream that you have on the day is made that day, and anything that's left over at the end of the day will either be chucked out or it'll be turned into ice cream lollipops or cakes or other types of things. But every day they'll make a fresh batch. So the younger the ice cream, the smaller the ice particles are. Here's the L'Oreal science bit. So the younger the ice cream, so it's made fresh. Handmade gelato is served slightly warmer. It's still frozen, but it's slightly warmer than when you buy a thing from the garage. That ice cream is an awful lot colder. So handmade gelato will be a warmer ice cream. So in the middle of the winter, it's not as bad. Right. But because it's so fresh, the ice crystals are if you've ever had ice cream and it's tasted rough in your mouth.
Yeah.
So that's more what we call industrial ice cream, which will the ice crystals have got bigger, and that's the roughness you're tasting. So the very, very tiny ice crystals are smoother on your tongue. It's a nicer taste, and yeah. So the younger, the fresher, the better. So yeah, and that's interesting. The science of it all. But then we're very much into like frying, and I mean, I've been in many a conference when somebody's discussing frying technology and the technology of McDonald's fries, and how there's a very certain style of potato. It's about the size of a rugby ball that they have. It's cooked in a certain way. They go through the science of what happens when the raw potato goes into the oil. What happens to the oil? How much
Oh
oil
God.
that is sucked up into the potato? Whereas the bend, the curves, it's all the science and the graphs. And every 100 grams of fries that go out of McDonald's, 10 grams of oil goes out with them. So how can they, and that helps with the flavor, and the virgin oil. Older oil is slightly better because it's more mature, and
Wow.
everybody's passionate about stuff. So yeah.
Well,
I
you've
mean,
been listening
I'd-
to the Food Science Podcast.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, ice cream and fast food. That's me. I help make people fat.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'd be screwed. I'd be screwed. I would in your trade, man. I can't even eat ice cream with my stomach. I'd be done in. I'd just be absolutely done in because you often show us photos of stuff you've tried, and I'm like, if I'd have gotten anywhere near that, I'd have been like on the toilet for the next 3 days.
Sorry
afterwards.
about that, man. Sorry.
Oh man,
Sorry about that.
so lucky.
Anyway, so yeah, another busy week ahead. Lots of stuff going on here. Holidays are now sorted. It was booked. I stood away. We're going back to Lake Garda. Okay. And looking for, love Lake Garda. So we're going to Bardolino. They've got this place with three or four bedroom apartments for everybody, and a pool and all the other stuff. So that's August sorted. Vegas is ongoing. Yeah, I'm still massively looking forward to Vegas. I have a plan what I'm going to do when I arrive. Immediately I arrive.
Oh God.
So that should be fun. That'd be interesting. And do you know what? I've started to watch little Vegas videos again about what to do and where to go and what not to do. I think they're very, very much. Greg's very, very much into the karting, very much into the shooting. So yeah, it should be good crack. It should be good fun.
You'll have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
You'll all have an absolutely superb time.
Yeah. And that's it, really, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I bought some stuff. I bought some more podcast gear just today. I'm setting up another podcast mini studio in here for my wife and her fostering podcast. That's going to happen. But that's about it. That's enough stuff to keep going on with, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll do
I
it.
reckon so.
Yeah. Let's do some gamey stuff then, Pete, will we?
I'll insert the clip later.
Okay, good lad. Okay, well, it's the middle of the month and your free stuff is there. Look it up. I'm going to stuck straight into gaming. If I had my video links now, I was racing at a place called Misano this week in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I had a fabulous first race or two, and then I'd done a race, and I came back. I think I've done the first race on maybe Monday night, and then I came back on Thursday or Wednesday evening and done another race, and it went very badly. I qualified.
You're on the stream as well.
Oh, very good. I qualified in the middle of the pack, and you can do this. Good stuff. I did this in the middle of the pack, and I was having a fantastic race in the middle of the pack. Really, really, really good. And we had noticed, or I'd noticed that one of the guys that had qualified maybe second or third place, he had been punted off or made a mistake, and he was off. And about halfway through the race, he was coming back through the field angry. He was driving with the red mist and punting people out of the way. Now, he's been reported. I've reported him. He will get a severe penalty, actually, probably, because it was judged that he punted me off deliberately. Now, the same guy a few weeks ago, I was in a race, and I had a really, really good race with this guy, but I beat him a few weeks ago, and it was close, very close back then. And when I look at it and look at the incident, it was actually this corner here, just coming up on the screen right now. I was mega punted. He punted me off, and then I came around this next corner here, and my car was so badly damaged, it spun off and hit the wall on the right hand side. And I had sound issues because I had changed a lot of stuff on the rig with USBs and cameras, and I only had the sound running on one channel, so I didn't have the sound recorded. But when I hit the wall, I done this really angry. If you have a look, Pete, on my channel, I actually look at it because it's only a 30-second clip. If you
Is it?
it's Robin loses it at Masano or something like that. It's green, me as the Hulk.
It was very funny. Sorry, I know you.
I'll see if I can get it on. You keep talking.
I would put that together as a little 30-second clip because it was funny. Even when I watched it back myself without sound, I just seen myself just flipping.
Oh, Misano angry. I got it.
And yeah,
Is on.
It got me. I had to go to the pits. I had like 2 minutes worth of damage to get repaired. My race was done. And but I just completely lost it. Yeah, it was going so well until yeah. So, I was just
shout fuck as well?
I was just, but the reason why I was so pissed off is because the race was brilliant. Even though it was like I mean, I had 10th place. I had a top 10 finish. I was there. I think I was 13th or 14th at the time, and I could see 10th. I was faster than the guy. And yeah, that happens. It happens. But yeah, I turned a good thing into or a bad thing into a good wee video. So we're at Indianapolis. My plan tonight was I was going to come out and do some practice for Indianapolis, but I'm podcasting with you guys.
Oh. Look at all the camera angles you got as well on that.
Yeah, I got all those fixed okay, but it didn't get me. I didn't have my audio sorted. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, loving it.
Brilliant. I'm really enjoying your videos, actually. I'm really enjoying watching you.
Yeah, it's funny, Phil, and you'll understand this, is trying to find where your format is. So, I mean, there's this sort of thing here, which is a live stream, which is, you know, yeah, I get maybe 12 or so people watching the live stream, 10, 12, 15. And then you top and tail it and you throw it out there and it maybe gets 100 views. That's, you know, that's it. There's much, you get far more people watching your stuff if it's shorter form, like, you know, 1 minute, 3 minute, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Less of an
shorts as they call it.
Yeah, less of an investment. But to win new people as well, you have to do the live stuff as well. Yeah. Now, I've set up a team on the LFM server now. Bongo Racing is the thing. The new logo is there. I have new members. It's class. In fact, one of the chaps, Matt, he asked me to send the copies of the logo. Did I have copies of the logo? And he had a vinyl cutting machine, and he's made stickers that are on his rig now, Bongo Racing stuff. I'm going, frick me, this has become a thing. This is happening. I got a random email in from a guy. Hey, I've just watched your last stream. I've won a few races. You know, and have a look at my stats. Can I join your team? I'm going, okay.
It is amazing when you get people. I think you sometimes we think about our community so much, the existing community, and we get feedback from the community. It's really something else when someone completely unrelated will drop you a message, someone you don't know,
yeah,
and doesn't know you, and says really enjoyed listening or really enjoyed watching.
It's lovely.
It really is lovely. Yeah.
So for me, it's a balance, trying to find the balance of who I am. Judith tells me, "Oh, listen to your voice. That's all put on." I go, "No, Judith, but I'm excited. You know, I'm there. I'm in the moment, and you know, I want to keep it exciting. I mean, I watch a couple of guys my age doing this. Hi, it's Dave here for another race, and oh look, yeah, my goodness, he's going off there. There's an opportunity here for me, and I'm going, God, I can't. Why would I do that? That's first of all, it's not me." You know, I'm 110%. I do have to tone it down a bit now and again, but I love that. But what I also love is I love the short form stuff when you can get creative and do bits and pieces. And there's some of the stuff that I've done, which is like a running commentary of the race beforehand, and I find that you can have a bit of fun with that too.
Yeah.
So the idea is I love the racing, I love the creativity of doing stuff with the YouTubey stuff, and I mean, where are we? We're kicking almost 200 followers now from a near zero base just a few months ago. I'm building up. And the way I look at it is, I just have to keep on making content because I'm building a library of content that will serve me well for.
Oh yeah, I've been down the rabbit hole of watching narrowboat videos, right? And there's this guy. He's got, I think he's about 700 videos now, something like that. Anyway, he builds a boat from an absolute wreck into a home, and it's fantastic what he does. It just shows his struggles. It shows how much he spent on things. It shows all the negativity that goes on behind it all as well, all the negative side to it as well as the positive. Which a lot of these channels that I look at, they're all like, you know, the glitz and glam of it all, but there is that tough side to it, and he's very real when it comes to it. When it comes to just explaining the things that you have to go through as someone who wants to navigate the canal network. And he started from nothing. Now he's earning a living just from
The stream.
purely making these videos out now. Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's some. I think the channel's like. I built how to build a narrowboat or something like that. How to build a narrowboat into a home. I'll try and find it out. But it's just this one guy who's just he's got some experience, I think, with other boats, but never a narrowboat, and he just does it all from absolute scratch. And just each episode is a single part of the boat that he builds, and it's brilliant. And I want to, when we get on a boat eventually, I want to make some videos as well.
Yeah.
Start now. Start doing filming of going to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to be careful with the things that you can.
You're gonna say, okay, today here, and you cut it as you went in and as you went out. You know that sort of stuff. You know, it's.
I was thinking of making an episode on the one that we actually buy and doing a little tour on that. But I'll do an episode as well about the struggles and you know where we've looked and blah blah blah.
Okay, we're thinking about doing boat.
Yeah,
budget. This is why
Shell's exactly Shell's got like the same opinion as your good lady. She's just I don't want to be like making all these false accents and all this jazz. I'm like, it's not that. It's just trying to make the video engaging.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that this is why I
found it really interesting. Just even you know things like thumbnails, which I have fun with my thumbnails and stuff. How you attract people in. The analytics of YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. It's phenomenal. The data that's there, you know,
and the amount of work as well that you have to put in. I mean, those top channels that's everything they do, and you know, even before they get to a point of actually earning money, the amount of hours that you have to put in is just absolutely crazy.
Absolutely, and that's what I mean. So when I say I pack in the minutes, so generally my racing time will be. Sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll come out, and maybe usually on LFM the races start every hour at 10:15. The servers open 15 minutes or practice or so, and a half-hour race. I want to do more longer stuff, but it's the time. And if I do 2 races when I come out, then the second race that started at 11:15 is over. It's 12 when I'm sack. And I've got used to that because I live on about 4.5 hours sleep every night. I've got myself tuned that way. But when I find myself then coming out here going, do I want to race or do I want to edit video? I've got to do both. I've got to, and like a 30-second video. I mean, that Hulk thing, I started off and I was going to do the long form chat on the race, how it was, all the accidents that happened. And then the Hulk thing came alive as it went along. The green car, green, angry, the anger, don't make me angry, and that turned into a 30. But even that little 30-second video, as clunky as it is, probably took about 2 hours to do. It's just amazing how much time comes up for it. So I'm enjoying that.
I've managed to find that video now. It's the channel's called the narrowboat that James built, and you can see on the feed now it's literally just a shell at the moment. The boat is, and he's just started his kitchen.
He's got a big tall ceiling, high ceiling.
He's got a big tall ceiling. Yeah, so he's just starting that out. But
I love it all.
That's what he does.
One to look at is I was used to watch. I can't remember the name of the channel, but this guy in California bought a gold mining town
Yes, I've came across
ghost
that
town.
now and again. Out way in the middle of nowhere, and he's building a hotel and all that.
Yeah, and the hotel
roads
burnt
washed away.
down. He had a fire, and the hotel burnt down and
Oh.
burned some of the other buildings. And he was just in tears. And you watch him, and he's literally on his own. Bought this ghost town in the mountains of California,
Yep.
trying to turn it into something on his own. And I think I sent some money over to him through his PayPal, because it was just absolutely devastated. But you go down actually into the mine itself and find 100-year-old pair of Levi jeans that are sort of crusted up. No,
but he's about that. Not he wants to build it up, but he's also very much into the history of
Yes,
it,
yeah.
and we're looking at old.
That's crazy.
It's really interesting,
Yeah.
actually. We watched. I've
Wow.
dipped in and out of him for a couple of years. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there, and so many creators, and amazing how many people. I mean, for the people that are making money at it, in the racing sim, their line. I'm sorry, this is gaming. We've sort of gone off all sorts of tracks here. You've got Jardier, which is a guy from Czechoslovakia. Really, really nice, very, very upbeat guy. But he's been sim racing for about 15 years, so he's really, really good. You've got the gamer muscle Ollie, who just went full time a couple of weeks ago there, but he had like 40,000 followers starting. He had built up that base and done all the nighttime stuff. And then Rory Alexander, who's from England, who was in a really senior enough job and had built his followers up to about, I don't know, 20 or 30, and about a year and a half ago then went full time at this now, and it's now 50 plus, and he's now making his living at it. But what he does is he doesn't have the space at home. He has a rented office, and he starts his stream at 9 a.m. and he streams until about 3:30, 4 o'clock, Monday to Friday. It's a job for him. Sorry, and the reason I'm sort of saying some of this is that one of the guys that started a wee bit before me, and he's now been monetized and has gone, but he posted up a video there the other week that he was so annoyed, will he ever get good? And he wants to be racing with the Jardiers and the Rorys and the Gamer Muscle guys and all of those fellas, and he'll never get there, and he's really down about it. And there's so many really comments came back. It says, like, come on, you're doing this for fun and entertainment. Those guys are doing this like 10 years, 9 to 5. Of course they're bloody good. You're never going to get there. These are Formula One racers or athletes of this trade. So, the more you do stuff. So, and I have no illusions that way. If I get to a point where I'm 60 years old and I have a couple of £100 coming in every month, I'd be for my hobby. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been playing ACC. We're in Indianapolis in America. The plan was to come out here tonight and do some practice, but I'm podcasting instead. And that's my usual sort of thing. I'm very well up there in the championship at the moment. I'm up, I think, still within the top 150 in my league. So that's kind of cool. Enough of YouTube and racing chat. What about you guys? Phil, you've been having me here for a while. There's a lovely list there.
Yeah, so I've been here for a while. So it's a very key sort of selection of different things. So for my birthday, I got a new headset. I got the SteelSeries Arctic Pro X, which it's almost like I'm not wearing anything. I mean, not this. These are proper studio monitors, but they are the most comfortable headphones I've ever had. And so I took them for a spin. I thought, I'll try, I enjoyed Battlefield 2042, so I'll try that. I'm able to stop playing it.
Wow.
It's just so immersive now compared to listening it through the TV speakers. It's just crazy.
The headphones on, of course. Yeah.
And I'm absolutely, really enjoying it to the point where, from a console point of view, I haven't played much else. There was a lot of criticism about Battlefield 2042 when it came out, but I think it's superb. Really, really. I've always enjoyed the Battlefield games, and as a community, we've played all of them over the years. But this one feels really good. I mean, this is the trailer at the moment for the new season. So season 4, there's new guns, and I'm not overly fussed about, as long as a gun shoots, That's all that matters to me. I usually play support, so I'm usually running around with a couple of paddles in my hands, zapping people back to
I
life.
always were that way. Yeah.
So I've always
Battlefield was
played.
visceral to me. The sound was always fabulous
Yeah.
in it, and it always felt a bit more gritty than Modern Warfare, even though it could be. But there was always it felt a bit more real. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's not so arcadey,
Yeah.
and it does feel like you're playing more for objectives rather than team deathmatch. So I usually play conquests where you're taking over areas and holding checkpoints. Again, you've got all the vehicles which Battlefield is well known for. I still can't fly any of the aircraft. Always crash them, but the various tanks and everything. When I get in a tank, usually I play the spotter. So rather than shooting anything, there's a localized scan around the vehicle to identify any enemies around you, and also spotting things at a distance. So it's more, those support roles or specialized roles that you're playing, whether it's engineer, whether it's
Kick out
support.
of that.
Yeah, I love it.
Ah,
Absolutely
cool.
love it. And shooting things as well.
Mm.
Just briefly, Age of Empires 2, one of my favorite games of all time. Came out on Game Pass, I think 2 weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, on Xbox for the first time. They've cleaned up the graphics, have brought it up to date. It's exactly the same game as before, exactly the same campaigns. It's obviously now you can use a controller, and
It's good. It works well.
It works really well, really well. Really enjoying it. I've forgotten. I used to play it online a lot, so I haven't tried the multiplayer yet. But we're talking. It's got to be 20 years old.
Yeah,
at least. And it feels great. All the original sound effects and everything else. So really enjoying that. But I have gone, should we say, balls deep into into VR.
Do you know what? I'm looking at your headset behind you, and it actually looks like a little drone sitting there. It looks really class. Oh, multiple VR headsets.
Yes.
Wow.
So I've gone. So we started with a Quest 2 about 6 months ago now, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And one of the things I found with Amazon is Chinese companies will give you free stuff if you give them good reviews. So I've got for both sets. I'll come on to the second set in a minute, but for both set, I've got fans. So they're all fans that keep you cool and stop you from sweating.
Okay.
I've got. Sorry.
A balloon.
A balloon. Yeah. I've got sticks for playing different games. I've got a charger up there. I think I've only paid for a fan, and all the other stuff has been sent to me for free.
Because you give it a good review.
Because I give good reviews. And
I'm like, yeah. It's on Amazon, is it?
Yeah. I'm like, fine, send me. Someone sent me a £150 projector the other day.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So I haven't unboxed that yet, but yeah. So I absolutely love it.
I haven't had mine on for ages, and I really must it.
It's
yeah. I was going to try it with ACC and do the racing, but I'm afeard that it would make me really nauseous.
Yeah.
But I need to get back to it because I was using it as an exercise tool. In fact, I think there you go. That's how they get you. I think I'm paying for my boxing thing.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
What, $2.99 a month or something like that there for it. Oh, I must get back to it.
Yeah. So originally we bought it for exercise, and still do. I've got the Les Mills app, which I'm doing probably about 5 times a week now, and which is sort of boxer size type stuff. Yeah. That's really good. But some of the games are just stunning. One of my favorites is a game called Demio, which is coming out for PS PSVR 2 as well. They've announced, and it's as close to a tabletop board game / miniature game / D&D session as you can probably get.
Okay.
When you put your headset on, you're literally standing around a table, and there is a 3D map in front of you, a 3D dungeon, and you control a little character, almost like a miniature, which you reach over the table and pick up and move it to where you want it to go. And then you look at your left hand, and your left hand, all these cards appear that you can play for special moves and spells. And you throw it onto the table, and then you throw a dice, which has a sword on, 2 swords, which is like a super hit. You can see it now, or a skull, and that tells you how well you've done in that move. So just getting a sword is a normal hit. Getting 2 swords is a critical hit, and a skull is nothing.
John just joined the chat and joined the podcast, and he said the first word he said, "Here, Phil says D&D." I like it.
This game is absolutely brilliant. It's multiplayer. You can play random people. You can play on your own as well. So you can control up to 4 characters yourself. It's superb, moving the figures through. Really enjoy it.
These are coming on. It's just amazing.
It is, and they've released a new lots of updates. All the DLCs, all the DLC is free, so you're not having to pay extra for it. Absolutely superb. Another game I've been playing is a game called Into the Radius, which I think was released on PC. This is a survival, not really horror game, so it's a survival sci-fi game where you're walking through, some world event has happened, and there are shadow creatures and shadow beings have appeared, and you have to make your way through it and do different missions for some unknown government organization. You have a backpack on your back, which you can reach over and pull down, and you look into the backpack, and you everything you find, you put into this backpack. So whether it's bars for energy or bullets and things like that, you have to fill the magazines of your gun with bullets manually. It is ridiculously immersive. It is quite spooky. One thing I have found, I do have to have a fan blowing on me at the time. That's one thing to get rid of any nausea, is have a fan blowing on you, because it tricks your mind. So that's one thing to definitely try. If you do ever feel nauseous, try it. But it's very apocalyptic, superb, really really interesting game.
Best blowjob you ever get.
One more little game I picked up called Pistol Whip.
It is awesome.
Love Pistol Whip.
It is a good game.
It's, I suppose, the closest you'll get to feeling like you're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Or John Wick.
And it's a workout too.
Yeah, it is. So I usually start off with a couple of rounds of Pistol Whip just to get my heart going.
Yeah.
And loosen up, because you're doing a lot of bending and dodging before going into Les Mills. And such a fun game. It does need more levels.
Yeah.
The Wild West ones are superb. I love the feel of the Wild West ones. And when you're dual wielding guns,
it does the feeling of reloading and shooting is just spot on with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, you do feel badass.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
And yeah, you've got different guns, different types. I was playing today with some of the settings. There's one to increase your score. There's modifiers, and one of them is whenever you shoot something, it automatically shoots back. So you've got bullets flying all over the place, and you're ducking and diving all over the place. Absolutely love it. I haven't got it's supposed to be rhythm based, but I haven't really got to any rhythm, feeling for it yet. Occasionally you do, but it's only like 12 quid or something. It's a really fun game.
I'm sure you have Super Hot in VR. Super Hot
yes.
VR. Yeah. Awesome. Another awesome workout and another dimension to that game altogether. And it looks fab and when I played it as well. Yeah.
And it sounds fantastic. I mean, the sound on the Quest, I've really been impressed. And so yeah, I really enjoy it, and we started to play some. I think we've got Forever 4 VR or Forever VR Bowl, and we were handing it. Myself and Lisa would get around to take the headset off, hand it to each other, and then adjust the strap
back. Yeah,
because we've got the strap that comes with the Quest isn't good at all.
Yeah.
So again, I've got different straps that actually have a battery pack on the back.
Dirty boy. I knew it.
So the Quest battery normally lasts about 2 hours. I've got 4 batteries, which give an extra 3 hours each. Not that I've played it for that long.
Lisa must be exhausted.
And so we had there was a good deal. It's like interest free, and we saw it and we thought, you know what, let's get another one because we used them.
That's good. But then did she get it for exercise and now she's doing other stuff as well?
Yeah. So we usually we'll usually do Les Mills in the same room. So it's not a 2-player thing.
Okay.
But we'll do Les Mills for sort of half an hour first. And then we'll finish with some bowling, or where it's just chilling. And Forever VR Bowl is great fun. And it reminds us.
Bowling.
Sorry.
10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
10-pin.
Yeah, it's very arcadey.
Okay.
But it's really good fun. There's 250 different balls, and one's got a penguin in, one's got a burning skull. So as you unlock levels, you can pick up more bowls, and you've got various different bowling alleys. So there's a Brooklyn one. There was a Christmas one, which was out in the outside, and the pins themselves were elves.
Okay.
Every time you hit them, they just went, "Ooh." And you've got your avatars as well, and it took us back to when we had the Kinect back in the day, Kinect bowling, and it's great fun. And so we've got Forever Bowl, Walkabout Mini Golf, which is just an amazing game. The community and the support that's given to it is just fantastic. Their DLC, they release courses every so often, new courses. They've got a Myst one. They've released a Myst course. They've recently released one based on the film Labyrinth.
Okay, cool.
They're doing a whole load of Jules Verne courses. So the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea course is really good. We've just got that one. And again, multiplayer. So we're in the same room, or if I go traveling, and we're playing Crazy Golf together.
Brilliant.
And it's a real
Pete,
relaxing.
do you ever put yours on your head anymore?
I haven't played it for ages.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the way you put it. No, I haven't. It's just time. It's just time to put one on. It's
see, my
easier to keep my head bare these days.
Really early in the morning, I used to, and go into the sunroom and have that room cleared and have the door locked so Jasmine couldn't come in, so I could whack her off.
Oh.
It's so you're in there punching things. Even lightsaber, we used lightsaber to warm up, so a few songs in lightsaber and then get into the boxing thing, and you do half an hour of it, and you'd come off like you're absolutely exhausted.
Oh, Beat Saber, that's a workout and half.
I will. Yeah. I will. I have it. I actually came across it. I actually set it beside the rig there, so I'm going to get it fired up again.
Well, I need other people to beat their scores on Beat Saber. So I've beaten Stu from the Veteran Gamers. Although there's one score on there which is incredibly high, and I think that may be his daughter who's got that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anyone else who plays any of these games, drop me a line and I'll add you. It's great fun.
It's a Girls Aloud song, isn't it? I think I struggled with one of his ones, and that was not a very Stu song. Most crazy score, so probably the daughter. Very good, very good.
That's me.
And Pete.
Yeah, I've been in the world of chess.
Oh, good lad.
It's chess in VR now, Pete. It's great.
I've been playing chess online, and the thing is, I'm just getting more and more sucked into this. There's competitions. There's a division that you can enter into, and it starts. I think it starts at wood, stone, steel. Then I think bronze, silver, crystal, and it keeps going, and it goes all the way to legends, and then you can start winning. You can actually win prizes if you get to the top of the league. So I've started off in the leagues. Started off at wood, and you needed to be in the top 20. I think it was the same for stone. And then as you progress into the higher divisions, you need to be in the top 10. And I think I'm in the silver one at the minute, and you need to be in the top 5. And I've really gone at it this week, and I'm top of the league.
Is there an ELO rating with it, Pete? Do you know what the ELO rating? No.
As you get it like the score rating,
Yeah.
like your ranking score. Yeah, I'm not very technical when it comes to chess. I can just play the game, okay?
No, just to go back to racing again. They use that chess ELO system for your ranking, so it puts you together with players or drivers that are evenly matched.
That's okay. Yeah, it does that,
but it's just not your wins. It's the way you win them in chess that helps your ranking and stuff like that. There, so I think it's they borrowed that system.
Yeah, the point system is really good. If that's what it's called, ELO, I'll use that from now on. It is really good. They match you with the right players. You know, someone similar to your skill level, and also you've got different skill levels to the different types of games you play. So the types of games I play are Blitz and Bullet. So I've mentioned Bullet before. You've got a minute each, and every time you move, you stop the clock, and the other clock goes for the opponent, and until they move, their clock keeps on ticking.
I'll keep your mind going. Keep your mind active.
Yeah, it's fast. It's real fast. The Blitz one, however, is a little bit slower. Obviously, you've got 3 minutes each, and you've got more time to think about your game. And I've fell in love with that more now than Bullet. I played a few games of Bullet earlier on today, and it was just frantic. It was nuts. So I've gone on to Blitz, and I've been getting pretty good at it this week. And like I say, I'm top of the silver division now. Within the division that don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's the silver division on a whole internationally. I think there's about, I think there was something like 15 million people in that division, worldwide, internationally, on the whole site, and I was 28,000th in that whole score ranking. But in the division that I'm in, with the selected players that I've been put in alongside, I'm top, and I've really enjoyed it this week. So I'm moving on into the.
They go, oh fuck! Look at this guy here. I'm screwed when they come up against you.
I don't know. It's you don't really get much time to chat to them, so I don't know. And I'm the only Brit so far within that division. I think that I've not played anyone from England, which is strange. I don't know whether they've just mixed that up evenly with their ranking system or whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
If you
it's
come
just strange
against the number 20 player and he beats you, he'll get even more ranking score, more ELO for beating you,
right?
Because he's beat someone higher than him. Where if he beats the guy who's in 50th and he's in 20th, he'll get
Right.
less. So,
Oh, okay.
that's cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's frustrating, when you see a little profile picture of like a 15-year-old kid, and they're just absolutely slaying you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. But the thing is with this as well, it's not only winning the game. If you run out of time, you lose. So it's not just about actually going in and getting the checkmate. It's actually about winning on time as well. So you got two factors of the game to look at, and it's pretty cruel. Sometimes I've been down to the wire. I've got 5 seconds left, and the opponent's got barely anything, and they've put me in checkmate, and they've won right at that time. And I'm just thinking, oh man, there was 2 seconds left on the clock. I've won on 0.02 of a second.
Wow.
I just managed to get checkmate, and they had 30 seconds left. So it must have frustrated the hell out of them. But I'm really into it at the minute, and I think I'm going to start doing a few videos, which is,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's another thing that I've been playing this week and doing with son. He's mad on doors on Roblox, and I've mentioned this before. We managed to get a video together today yesterday on doors. The video is a little bit out of sync. I forgot to put the millisecond delaying onto the video and audio, so the webcam's slightly off to the gameplay. But we've managed to put one together. We got to there's 100 levels on this game. So it's a server on Roblox, and it's called Doors, and there's 100 doors, and we got all the way to the end, and he lost at the end, bless him. But it was a good little video.
Brilliant.
There was this little panic moment when he got caught by the last boss, and he'd like shuddered a little bit, like your anger moment.
Yeah.
But he kind of like really shit himself because it's kind of horror themed. So he grabbed him. And Leo was just like, oh, he was just really shaking. So it was good to see that. I've managed to get that clip.
Roblox just came along a lot.
Yeah. I mean, they've redeveloped this game a few times now. This server, should I say? They've linked it with other servers. They've managed to build up a real big follower base, and it's fantastic. It's a real good. It's just a real good a good little server to play on. So we've been doing that. We'll get a video hopefully together soon. But like I say, I was just a little bit gutted at the end with that audio and video sync to the gameplay. But it's not the end of the world. And at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun for him as well.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah. So that's it really. And just a little shout out as well to. I don't know his name actually. I don't know whether Kim mentioned it, but Kim's nephew has joined on to chess and added me as a friend. So like, he's battling on now, and hopefully
Tony.
he'll start upping his skill level. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look.
Tony's 10 years old, going on 30.
He's only a young lad. I think it was a nephew anyway, and yeah, she's signed him up on the chess site, and I managed to watch a couple of games of him playing away. So.
Okay, that's what we've been playing. What have you been playing? Let us know. Right. I just wanted to mention and talk, and I'm sure lots of you have heard, Marty, Greasy Fish Lips, who has been a member of Veteran Gamers, this community, 360 Gamercast, Midlife Gamer, all of those communities. Marty passed away a week ago from cancer, and he's been suffering from cancer for probably about 4 or 5 years now. And didn't know Marty. I don't think I ever met Marty in the flesh. If I did, sorry, fella. I can't remember. Looking back at our correspondence, he was always there, and he had contacted me about a couple of weeks ago just to say thank you for the racing videos, really enjoying them, keep it up, and a bit of a dig in it as well. And he was such a positive chap, and always had a wee positive word for people, and he was involved with so many people, and probably lots of us have shared a tweet with him or a message, or there was victory achieved. He loved The Witcher and completed it all. In fact, that was only one of the only ones he did. What do you like, Marty? Didn't finish enough games. And just over a week ago, I seen that one of the last tweets that he put up was asking the community, well, is this Harry Potter game going to be good? And that is a whole different level of positivity and thought. He's left a couple of grown-up girls and a wife. He's married about 10 or 12 years, and some teenage girls, and they're absolutely gutted. And I just wanted, we did put some messages up, but I just, it would be remiss of us not to say anything. And the family that's been left behind are I'm absolutely sure, completely and utterly gutted. And we have got a bit of a hole in our hearts now for that as well. So anybody that knew Marty that's listening to this or before, well, you maybe not, but I just felt that I wanted to say, like, I don't want to bring everybody down because he was such a positive guy, and he would be pissed off right now if I was being all maudlin. So Marty, in the way that I knew you and the interactions that we had, thank you. And I'm so sorry that you're gone for your family, and a little part of our community just disappeared, and it's fucking awful. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I personally, Marty, I've chatted with him on and off over the years for a long, long time. And he was always so supportive of everything we did. Yep. Any spin-offs that we had, he'd message me after every episode of the D&D podcast, and he used to call me his DM and how much it made him laugh, and how funny Kim was, and everything else. And Greg was terrible, and why does I have Greg on there, and all this. But no, he was always positive and always up for a laugh, and went out of his way to be supportive. It was a real shock. He had bad news just before Christmas, and I'd spoken to him on and off, or typed to him on and off about his chemo and and he went through a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
he was in so much pain at the end, and then in the new year, got the bad news that the chemo wasn't working, and that he had a few months, and we all thought, when you hear a few months,
he's going to beat this and carry on.
He's going to, and it was within a month.
Yeah, within a month.
And all we can say is, the legacy of his kids and wife that he leaves behind, and at least he's not in any more pain.
Yeah. So, Marty, I wish I had a glass in my hand. Cheers to you, fella. Thank you. And if you're up there and you see young Gary, give him a good kicking for us, will you?
Yeah.
All right. And if you need to chat, and if you're ever struggling with stuff, there's a community of people that don't really know you who won't judge here, but always reach out. Just don't suffer in silence. Reach out to us, and we'll be there and give you the dishonor that you deserve. Okay, on to some news. Diablo 4. The beta begins in March. Ooh, this will get me with a controller back in my hand. Confirmed during the IGN Fest, Diablo 4's director, Joey Shelley, had told IGN that the game's beta will take place just a few months before its full release in June. Diablo 4 beta will run from St. Patrick's Day, 17th of March, to be sure, until March the 17th for those players who have pre-ordered the game. And those who haven't will get a chance to experience the beta on the 24th to 26th. So the beta will have no time limit. Players will be able to progress until level 25. So that's probably one run through, or most of it. And Diablo 4's release on June the 6th. So, however, players who pre-order this Ultimate or Deluxe versions of the game will have access on June the 2nd. I'm looking forward to more Diablo. I love Diablo.
Game Pass as well.
Is it straight on Game Pass?
I believe so, yeah.
Does that count as a pre-order?
No, it doesn't. And that begs the question as well. I suppose, a lot of people have Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, pre-ordering used to be, for the actual physical version of the game. I don't know if I'd be bothered about pre-ordering anything at the moment.
I've cancelled my Game Pass the other week. Do you know what? I went on this like money saving spree.
Everybody, the podcast's over now. So.
PlayStation for life, man. PlayStation for life. Yeah, I cancelled it. I was on a money saving spree, and I cancelled Disney Plus and Netflix and all the
it's amazing.
Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh well, you know what? We'll always welcome you back again. And you know what? If you're getting lots of fun from your God of War and those exclusive, basic sort of ZX Spectrum type games, you know that's okay. On you go. You know. All right. Hogwarts Legacy DLC is currently not planned, claims the developer. Speaking at an IGN FanFest, there must be the same one, game director Alan Chew claimed that the game's development team was so absorbed in wearing different dresses, preparing for its release, that it hasn't yet considered post-release content. We've really had our heads down in each other's laps, bringing Hogwarts Legacy to life, he said. So at the moment, there are no current plans for DLC. Well, okay, fair enough. You know, they've just got it out. They're on a deserved break right now, and they did face a little bit of media and unfair stuff through their way. So
he's a bit early in the day, though, isn't he? Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, some companies will have a big roadmap of stuff there. So,
you
know, he's maybe just not giving too much away yet and keeping the fizz of the game. I know quite a few people in the community are absolutely loving this game and the depth and the side missions and from scary bits. Mark was talking about something like, but there was it the fallen angels from Doctor Who, the statues.
Yes, Lincoln Angels.
Something similar to that, and it creeped him out, which surprised me in a Harry Potter game. So it sounds like they produced something really, really good here. So we'll play it sometime. Yeah, play it sometime. Tencent, here you go. They reportedly scrapped to launch its own VR hardware. Tencent are Chinese, aren't they? No bloody wonder. They're giving it all to Phil. According to Reuters sources, the move comes as the world's largest video games publisher by revenue plans to cut jobs at its extended reality unit. That's a good term. Extended reality, which was formed in June 2022 and employs some 300 people. Wow. They didn't do much, did they? They got the office fitted out and they started on a few projects and then, nah.
It says significant investment, so I'd imagine that was sending stuff to Phil.
The report claims that Tencent had come up with a concept for a Ring-like handheld game controller for its VR hardware. That would be like one of the handheld controllers with a ring that you have at the moment. However, one source said that the company decided to change its strategy because of the significant investment required to compete in the market and the fact that it didn't expect to turn a profit until 2027. Well, I mean, that's right. I mean, and they've given up. So
it's a difficult market. It really is. I mean, Meta themselves have shared a whole load of developers and people working on it. I think you know, the Quest Pro that came out at the end of last year didn't take off as much as they thought. I mean, it was £1,500 for a start, and there weren't that many huge leaps. The PS VR 2, that's looking really good. Reviews are coming in well. It's wired, which, number one, I don't have a PS5, so it's double dipping. But the quality is sounding like it's up there with when you plug the Quest into a PC.
Yeah, but all the reports that I read about it, and they're really positive, but they usually end in, but it has cables.
Yeah. And the thing is, Quest, they did such a good job on the first one, and that's the one I've got, the Quest one, and they've done a fantastic job. Maybe not through their marketing, but it was just the product and what you got, and the interface. The interface was really simple. It was easy to buy something. They just did a fantastic job, and credit to them. That's paid off in selling the second one. Maybe not the Pro, as you say, Phil, but they've really given themselves a good base to start from.
Well,
Haven't they?
yeah, and exactly. They sold it at a loss for a couple of years as well. So they actually,
They would do,
you know,
yeah.
it sold more units. Quest 2 sold more units than the Xbox Series S and X combined.
There
Wow.
you go. There you go.
And last year they increased it, the price of it. I mean, it's unheard of, increasing the price of hardware by £100. So it went from what was it, £2.99 up to £3.99, and it's still selling, selling hugely. And cables for me is a big thing.
Yeah,
because I'm tripping over things. If I've got this headset on, I can't see anything anyway, and I'm tripping.
Yeah, especially if you've got a fan blowing in your neck as well, and then
I had the PSVR
making yourself all
weeks.
relaxed.
No, I had the PSVR for a couple of weeks. But
Oh, right.
When the first one, I originally bought it, and it was great and fun and everything, but it didn't have the depth of stuff. It set a Quest up to be so successful.
Yeah, there's a huge library of games, and in the sort of indie library. If you set up a thing called SideQuest.
SideQuest, yeah,
it allows you to put on a ridiculous amount of indie games. Most of them free, and some of them are absolutely superb.
But I think that was its biggest USP. That was just selling it without a cord, and it's look at the price system as well now. Like $549, is it $529 in the UK? It's going to cost for a Sony VR system, the PSVR 2.
I also think
that's a big
COVID. A lot of these layoffs are COVID related, as in. Even in my own business, I mean, we were opening ice cream parlors like mad during COVID because it was a treat that people could still have when they couldn't get into a restaurant. They could go in and get a nice gelato and come out. It was ridiculous. And we had a couple of years which were just record breaking for us during COVID. But now that people aren't spending the time at home, they're not gaming as much. Some of those layoffs are kind of inevitable. That those were 2 years that some businesses went crazy because people were at home. Like, even I keep on coming back to it. Sim racing, there's so much hardware. I mean, there was 6-month waiting lists on wheels and stuff like that there because people just wanted to build a rig, and people spent more than what I've spent on mine and never used the thing. You just look at Facebook Marketplace, and there's just so much stuff for sale. So so yeah, that no wonder that they're dropping jobs, and two, it's a really, really hard market to come up against. I mean, we don't even talk about really the Steam variant now. The original big fancy
Vive, yeah.
Vive. You don't really talk about it much anymore. No. Anyway, there's also a huge Firaxis shakeup. It sees XCOM director and studio head exit. In addition, studio head Steve Martin, he hits those cans. Get away from those cans. There's come on, pull that back. Come on, name the movie. Damn Steve Martin. See you, Steve Martin. I had tickets to see you. You were coming to Belfast, right? And the night before, you did a show in Dublin. Steve Martin and Martin was short. So I was going to see him. I was so excited. I paid a fortune for the tickets. And then you went to the show in Dublin, and you'd done your show in Dublin, and you decided that you weren't coming to Belfast because of COVID.
I remember that. Yeah.
Anyway, Steve Martin, I'm sure it's not the same one, will also believe in the company after 25 years to concentrate on banjos. Publisher 2K announced on Friday. He'll be replaced by former Chief Operating Officer Heather Hazen. Oh, good name. The departures follow the disappointing launch of Marvel's Midnight Suns. Okay, what was that? Though it's not clear if they're related. VGC had asked 2K for comment. 2K said, "Frick off." Stated that it is not related, and both former heads have left on good terms. In related news, Firaxis has also officially announced that the next mainline game in Sid Meier's Civilization series is in development. There you go, Phil. There's one for you. And quickly rattling through these, Ubisoft says it'll attend E3 2023 if it happens. Good stuff. That's really excellent. And Hogwarts Legacy's first digital sales in Europe were 56% higher than Elden Ring. There you are. That's good too. Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal are expected to release 5 AAA games by March 2028. Way to shoot for early dates. Lars Wingefors, the CEO of Crystal Dynamics and Eidos parent company Embracer, provided an update on group's pipeline of projects they're working on, stuff they're doing. He defined AAA games as titles that have over 100 full-time developers at the peak of their development phase. There's some people in China looking for a job, and I'm sure they have nice furniture to bring with them. Maybe those like the high desks and stuff that go up and down by themselves. They don't have any fans because it's in the film. One project that will appear to meet all of those stipulations is Perfect Dark, a co-development between Xbox Studio and the Initiative and Crystal Dynamics, which is being funded by Microsoft. I would like to see a new Perfect Dark. That would be good. And a new up-and-coming Tomb Raider game, which is going to be published by Amazon. Douche X, fan favorite. It's in early development as well. And yeah, oh, wow, as well. So they're collaborating on maybe Fable. So they have lots of stuff coming over the next several years. So that's good. That's good. Phil, do you have the new releases calendar up there?
I do have and there's lots.
Oh, wow. It's been a long time since there's been lots.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Prepare yourselves.
Okay.
So, February 19th to 25th, you've got Aka R, which is PlayStation 5, Xbox X, all the consoles. Atomic Heart comes out February 21st. Looking forward to that one. That's on PS5, Xbox, and PC. Like a Dragon Ishin, everywhere on February the 21st. After the Fall, which is a VR game, which is very good. That's coming to PlayStation VR 2. Altair Breaker, also coming to the PSVR 2. Cities VR Enhanced Edition. So this is like City Skyline. In fact, it is City Skyline for VR, but the enhanced version. Cosmonius High, again, these are all on VR. So Demio on February 22nd. It's definitely one to get. Digimon World's Next Order, Drums Rock, Disochronia Chronos Alternate, Fantavision, Firewall Ultra, Gran Turismo 7 coming to PlayStation VR 2 on February the 22nd.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Another big hitter, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Even bigger than that is Job Simulator, the 2050 Archives.
There you go. You need that, Phil. Like you get sorted.
Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. Kayak VR Mirage. Now, this is actually looks stunning. So you're basically in a kayak on water, and the water looks amazing. Kazuna AI Touch the Beat. That's also coming to PS5. Moss and Moss Book 2 bundle. Those are both very, very good platform games. Moss and Moss 2. I think they were on PlayStation anyway before, but they're on VR. We've got both of those. NFL Pro Era, Pavlov VR, which is a really good shooter. Pistol Whip, as we talked before, on February the 22nd. PlayStation VR 2 itself coming out February the 22nd. Puzzling Places, which is another very good game. Resident Evil Village coming to VR.
Oh, that's wrong, isn't it? That to put that game on VR.
Res Infinite, Song in the Smoke, Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, which is very good as well. Synth Riders, Tentacular Testes.
Testacular what?
Testes. Tetris Effect Connected. The Last Clockwinder, another very good game. I've been meaning to play that. The Light Brigade, The Tale of Onogoro, Thumper. Anyone would think there was a new piece of hardware coming out.
Yeah. All these redone VR games.
Yeah. Townsmen. Townsmen.
Or women.
Or them.
They.
Fisher them.
Plus minus.
Vacation Simulator.
That's a go there.
What the Bat, Zenith the Last City, Zombieland Headshot Fever Reloaded, Blood Bowl 3.
Okay.
Looking forward to that. Company of Heroes 3, which is also going to be coming to Xbox at some point. Grim Guardians Demon Purge to all consoles. Sons of the Forest PC. Clive and Wrench coming to PlayStation 5 and 4, Switch and PC. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe coming to the Switch. And on February the 24th, There is Octopath Traveler 2 coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and Puka.
There you go. The PlayStation VR department is on. Yeah, look, apologies if you're CP Matthew has pointed out that we're very short of overseas in the Overseas Connection podcast tonight. But I mean, if you're absolutely precise, I am actually overseas from these guys. So it's a smaller sea, but I am overseas.
And we have a couple of canals between us, Pete.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So unfortunately, if you're tuned in here to the live show, Greg was planning to be on the show tonight, but he had some family drama that he has to go and deal with at the very, very last minute. I'm sure all will be okay there, and we'll be speaking to him. We'll give you an update later on next week, I'm sure.
But to be fair, he could have had some stressful times on his play dates during the week, and during the week he plays on Halo on a Wednesday. Apparently, I mean, I've not joined him, and apparently he plays PUBG. He plays on PUBG as well, and he only has an hour because he does it in his lunch hour. So it's. I mean, I'll shop him. You know, he's supposed to be working, and he says it's his lunch hour, and yeah, that's around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. In the UK. So if you're overseas over this direction, it's around that time.
Work it out.
Yeah, get a world class.
Jesus, I mean, the only fucking reason I'm going to Las Vegas because you and Mike are going. I mean, Greg, unfortunately, we have to tolerate. So, you know.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
so yeah, that's
about a show. We do this, as I say, every single week around this time, 9 o'clock in the UK. And please email. I know it's a very historic or prehistoric thing, but it still happens. It's not just a business thing. podcast@ocpod.com. That's what I pay for. But send an email. You can tweet us at @OC_podcast. Facebook group is fb.ocpodcast. Please do all that internet stuff. Tell your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. You know, crash into that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's good. And we will be back next week. I won't be here because I might be here because I did it in Killarney last time. So I'll be maybe in a hotel room again with another set of partying older ladies behind me. I might join the party instead. Anyway, look, Phil, thank you very, very much for coming back on the show. You're more than welcome anytime you want. You come along. You're part of the crew. The letters never disappeared on the notes. You know, they're always there. So thank you very much. And would you like to give a wee shout out to anyone?
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. You know, been asking for ages, but you keep refusing to have me on.
Well,
no,
sorry,
you're a liar.
You couldn't come on if he was on, so that's the real reason.
I only came on because Kim and Greg weren't coming on. No, thank you both, and yeah, shout out to Marty.
Yeah,
you know,
Marty,
it's a pleasure. Been a pleasure. Over to you, Pete.
So I'm going to shout out Mom number 2 because it was her birthday. And we had a nice weekend with her, bless her. Kim's nephew, I still don't know your name. I'm not going to shout out a username, safeguarding and all that, but yeah, at least I've had a little bit of I've got a following now. I've got one friend request from someone at work as well. So yeah, that's cute. Thanks for putting up with. I haven't even mentioned it. I've used my P. No, is it a Z4?
No, it's a P4.
Zoom
PodTrack.
Oh my
P4.
god, I'm
Zoom
dropping
PodTrack P4.
Zoom PodTrack P4.
God.
I'm using that tonight, and I decided to fire up OBS and just do this crap job of putting stuff together. But it's worked. We've got a bit of a show together. So there we go. So yeah, pat on the back to myself. And then I'll hand you over to Robin to close us off.
The chat, I don't know if the people are real or not. We had Oella, Alice, Dara, Boomer, Commander Root, a good old bot. CP Matthew, Drop Snap, Gamers and Streamers. Is it me? Kata, Lacarf, Lucetown. I'm not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Rogue, Violets TV, and Yo Sharpie. Thank you very much for dropping in. If you're real, if you're not real, well, I don't know. My life is is a different reality whatsoever. Greg, safe driving if you're listening to the show on the stream, buddy. No, thank goodness you're not chatting. And we'll catch up with you over the next couple of days. And Kim is celebrating. Let her celebrate away. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will be back here this time next week. And this show was for Marty. Thank you. Good night.
I think that's about it.